Welcome back to Beards and Brews. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, smack that bell so you know when we have another one brewing. This week's movie, gentlemen, it's going to be Queen of the Damned. Now, I know this is usually where I say, hey fellas, what do you think? I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to convince me that this movie was real. Gentlemen.
Why would I want to do that?
By
All right,
real,
case closed. That was Queen of the Gosh Darned.
what do you mean? I'm ready to try to debate this.
I mean, like, this movie, I don't know. It doesn't go anywhere. There's no real story here. Nothing really happens.
What are you talking about? It goes all the way to Death Valley.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Like, I've never just seen a movie that just happened in a really long time, so I was just kind of gobsmacked, or godsmacked, that, like,
Oh.
felt like this movie was written, produced, directed by Hot Topic. I just didn't
For
know.
sure.
Yeah, dude, this is 100% new metal, the movie. That's all it is.
Yeah, this came out hot on the tails of, Korn being one of the biggest bands in the world. This was, 2002? And man, you can tell that Jonathan Davis from Korn had so much to do with this. He even makes a little cameo appearance there in the middle.
Yeah, I saw that for sure. And I feel like there's like actual talent that happened in this movie. We'll go over here, but there's like a good 20 minutes where I'm just like, man, all right, this is classic vampirism. This is actually pretty good. I would like some more of that. And the movie's just like, hey, we gotta get the Death Valley. Yeah.
I'm watching a vampire movie that's pretty good, but product placement needs to really get in there right about now.
Like, I wasn't embarrassed or anything for the movie. I was just like, man, what?
Okay, so jumping into the movie, I'm embarrassed in the first 5 fucking minutes.
Oh, absolutely. No kidding, yeah.
Look, man, like, let's say you were having like a nice little nap and your next door neighbors start jamming out. What do? Do you like bang on their door to get them to stop, or do you just like lay sexily on their amplifiers at them?
There comes a time in every vampire's life where he new metal for the first time, and nipple rings and violins, very alternative. And while he's laying up there sexily, pretending to be Jonathan Davis from Korn, that fucking thing he's doing with his face is so fucking embarrassing. I have cushions, like little pillows, on my couch. I picked one up and held it in front of my face during that.
Gotta hide from it.
Yeah, this comes off, especially this first scene where he's just like, being, and then he interacts with like the band doing practice or whatever. This comes off as like the most try-hard, edgy episode of What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh man, this movie has edgy just like in spades. It's so fucking weird. And like what got a giggle out of me immediately was like the rest of the band, they're just like, whoa, what's this spooky looking guy doing on our equipment? But the lady that was in the band was just like, "Brr."
All I can say is, I'm a vampire.
Yes. Goodness. So I guess a little bit of backstory. This vampire, Lestat, which I guess is French for the statistic, he's awoken from his slumber because of this band playing this just fucking awesome new metal music. And I guess that was his opportunity to just reveal himself to the world because,
yeah, like he hears it and then he's like, huh, what is this?
It's it. It's it.
Let me climb out of my sarcophagus that I've been laying in for the past 150 years.
All I can say is this dude looks like Edward from Twilight, dressed like a pimp.
oh no.
Now, what he reminds me of is, you guys seen Bride of Chucky? Like the little scrawny boy who's always trying to hit on Tiffany, like the real life Tiffany. Who's like crawling on her bed and like shirtless and is like, hey, you want some of this? And she's just like, pass.
All I'm saying is that this whole movie's a missed opportunity because over some vague research of this movie, this is technically a sequel to Interview with a Vampire, and this is Tom Cruise's character. So I'm picturing little old Tom Cruise over there just be like, I love new metal, guys. I love new metal.
One thing I want to get out of the way just so we can talk about it. The casting for this movie is abysmal.
Oh my god, it's so all over the place. Yeah.
Like aside from like the new metal extras that you'll see here and there, and maybe the kids in the band, every main character, that's not a character that you as an actor need to portray. Any of you.
Listen, they just wanted this movie to be about sex, clamato juice, and rock and roll.
Ew. Clamato juice.
Did you guys like that whenever he like shows up for his big reveal after he's like, I write music and shit? He's on those big screens, and the reporter's down there looking up at all these big screens. But whatever reason, whenever she speaks, his eyes look down at her like he's seeing out of that fucking monitor.
I mean, I guess you could chalk it up to like, it's magical, whatever. Doesn't matter. But like, what fucking tickled me about it is just like, she's kind of grilling him. You know, it's like, why'd you come out now? Wouldn't everybody else be pissed that you're doing this? And he's just like, hey, let's go fuck.
Yeah, he's basically just like, yeah, I don't care. Vampires, come on, come out and play. I just want to be a rock star right now. I'll see you all at Death Valley.
See it burning, man.
Yeah.
He fucking... Okay, so it shows those big screens and everything looks like it's fairly modern technology. Pan back to him sitting in front of a camera with a goddamn setup of old computers from the 70s and a TV remote from the fucking 60s. That thing is huge and thick.
I mean, I guess that's all he could afford. He didn't have any money. Like, his superpower is just taking his shirt off, so that's all he had.
Fair enough.
I wish that was my superpower. So the next thing we know, we're going back to England, and he's like at his house or one of his houses. I don't know, with some groupies, couple of sluts.
Sluts.
Yeah.
Sir, the proper term is whores.
Yeah. And everybody's just all blood horny listening to some Static X.
Yeah.
Okay, so the song Cold We're So Cold, it's playing and I'm sitting there nodding my head like, yeah, I like this song. And then I'm seeing Lestat like backwards Spider-Man crawl up the wall to escape a blowjob.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like, he's a vampire, he has special skills, and like in a bunch of other movies it's kind of impressive when they just like walk up the wall because, you know, folks can't do that. But this guy is like crawling on the wall 60s Batman style all the way up the fucking thing, and then he just jumps down and eats those ladies. The scene's over. It just stops.
The animation for this, by the way, is so bad. It reminds me of, I don't know if there was an Animorphs television show back in the day, back in the 90s, but if there was, that's what I imagine the animation would be like when they're like transforming or something. It's bad. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, Beast Wars, nice. That chimp sounds like Optimus Prime.
That song is playing though, and again I'm like, fuck dude, that's such a good song. And I was in a good place, you know, I had some drinks and I'm sitting there and I'm watching this and I was like, this song would be perfect for some freaky shit, and I could just imagine it being in a better film.
Yeah, okay, this movie is kind of well known more for its soundtrack, I feel like, than actually being a movie. And if you were a new metal kid back in the day, like, you had this soundtrack. It is legit all the way through. Like, looking back on it now, you're like, yeah, that's whatever. But, you know, you got all kinds of good stuff. Jonathan Davis does like 6 tracks for it. Static X, Marilyn Manson. You got Disturbed, Down with the Sickness. You got all, like, it's just packed full of like everything that I wanted to listen to at that time. Orgy, Papa Roach, solid.
So basically, whoever bought a ticket to this movie spent like $10 just for a really long music video.
100%.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah.
But not a very good music video, especially whenever Kate Face is there. Fucking hate this chick.
Who's Kate? Oh, is it like B-plot lady?
Yeah, dude, the fucking main heroine or whatever she is just wearing like a fucking half-inch thick thing of makeup. It's so noticeable.
That's because she got beat up a lot when she was playing for the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, shit, dude. Emilio Estevez fucking wore her out.
Yeah, the actress that plays the, I guess, primary heroine in this movie, like the human in this movie, was the actress that played the girl hockey player from Mighty Ducks 2. I was like, I recognize her from fucking something. What is it? Mighty Ducks 2.
kill Marius with a knuckle puck.
No, she's gonna break that stick in half. That way she has like a wooden stake.
I was gonna say, well, she needs to jam it in this movie and just like put it out of its fucking misery. Because B-plot ahoy, as vampires are doing their vampire thing, she goes into like this paranormal academy or whatever that just exists in London.
Yeah, she evidently works for the London International Center for Paranormal Shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess she had done some like extracurricular detective work to find out where like all these vampires are hiding. And like her shtick is somewhat solid, even though it's super convenient how she finds it. And like everybody on the board is like, well, why did you do that? We're just a board. We don't really do anything. We just say it exists, not prove it, basically.
Yeah, you're supposed to sit in this office. You're not supposed to go out and like see the vampires.
Yeah. And then the fucking B-plot David shows up and he's like, yeah, we know all about Marius. He was the first gay vampire. You can see,
and like he had
this out and proud Picasso painting.
That's what I was going to bring up. He had just like a half dozen paintings. Like, I guess they're like these rare antiquity things. And he's just like, look at this one and that one. You see anything similar? No, they're gay.
You know what I call this one? Bailey's.
I call this one Bailey's, a bit bigger. Honestly, Marius, I was talking about the casting. Marius is the worst offender to me in the whole thing. He's supposed to be this like, ancient sire of a vampire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he is just not intimidating in any capacity whatsoever.
No. He's very frail, balding. He looks like the kind of guy who manages a Wendy's.
Dude, he's the guy who's running that goddamn Wendy's that Sean Connery's passed out in.
Oh no. That's his real eternal struggle. It's this Scottish man fucking blackout drunk in his drive-thru.
Gay vampire! Get me a fucking Frosty before I stake ya.
I want to talk to somebody else. Somebody get rid of Count Gila.
Oh, shit.
For me, he reminds me of like the scrawny pale guy who's like working at the record store in High Fidelity. Yeah, and he's trying to come off as like an intimidating like vampire guy, and it just doesn't work in any capacity.
The kind of guy that walks up is like, I'm a vampire. And you're just like, all right.
Get out of here, Nicolas Cage, and he puts in his fake teeth and bites you.
Even if that's true, I don't care. Please leave me alone.
Yes. He's just like, oh. Dude, but like their first date is so weird. Lestat's there, all sprawled out in a bed in his mustard pants. Just uber fucking bottom bitch. And in comes Marius, and he's like, I'm going to drink you like a fucking nice Chianti. And he just jumps on him and then fucking makes him drink his titty milk. And he's like, rise like Christ.
Did the movie even give a solid reason why he chose him to be turned instead of just eating him?
He was a little Lord Fauntleroy.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, the movie's kind of whatever. Even the character's just like, I picked you because you had your shirt off.
At what point are we in this? Are we
the Charlie Daniels band's about to fire up.
Oh, okay. Okay. I get. You're talking about like when he slits his wrist and he lets Lestat drink from him, where he's looking like fucking Joaquin Phoenix when he's playing the Joker.
Drink.
Yeah.
Then he sits up afterwards and like he just sits straight up and he looks like Elijah Wood in Sin City when he's like propped up against that tree like bleeding out.
Ooh, Sin City's a good movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's Queen of the Damned.
Not a good movie.
But you're absolutely right. Like, he just gets chosen for whatever reason, and we get the whole backstory about the actual Queen of the Damned, like the original vampire is played by Aaliyah. And I guess Lestat has this like insane fucking fiddle skill, and he like bursts into her catacomb or whatever and starts being like Satan from Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. He's like, listen to my licks, they're fucking tasty, and goes fucking wild on it. And her statue like comes to life or some shit.
Yeah.
Dude, he fiddle diddles her.
Oh man, got her rock hard.
Is that supposed to happen with the ladies? I don't know. But one thing that we can't ignore, Aaliyah, let's go back to Aaliyah for a second. She was actually in the process of making this film when, unfortunately, she tragically died in an airline accident back in 2001 during I think it was post-production of this film. Yeah. And I have to say, after seeing this movie, that was probably only the second worst thing to happen to Aaliyah that year.
Oh, shit.
Hey, look. Every little piece that she's in this movie, I don't give a fuck. She's hot. I give her credit.
Like, I feel like she's in a completely different movie. I'm not going to say that she was a fantastic actor, but, like, she was fucking putting on some moves. Like, she was trying. It's just the movie that she was unfortunately trapped in was god fucking awful.
Yeah, it seems like every time she shows up, the tone of the movie changes. But
yeah,
the bad thing is she only shows up in a couple little places. Like, for her being the title queen of the damned, she's really not in this movie very much. This is all about Lestat and Marius.
Speaking of Mario, he gets real jealous that Lestat got the fiddle diddle Akasha. He got his peach before old Mario did. And he's like, you cannot have her. She's an alcoholic. She drank and drank and drank. So now I'm going to leave you here all by yourself.
You cannot have her. You cannot. Oh, hi, Lestat.
That is the quality of his fucking tone.
This is Tommy Wiseau.
Like, even there's an occasional, like, voiceover. It sounds so bad, like, on that level, on the Tommy Wiseau level. But I more compare it to, like, if Tommy Wiseau was trying to do the voice of Dracula, only the Dracula character on What We Do in the Shadows.
But we all know, like, if it was Tommy Wiseau trying to do a Dracula accent, it would just be Tommy Wiseau's voice. He wouldn't even try.
Yeah.
Now, he gets left there all by himself, and it's literally Beetlejuice at this point. He is fucking Lydia, and he's whining like a little bitch. He's like, I am alone. I am utterly alone. Mario doesn't answer my calls.
The movie kind of goes out of its way to show the moment, or like the beginning of him losing his humanity. And they go off on this like tangent where like he sees this beautiful woman playing the fiddle, and he shows up with his rockin' fiddle too. He starts fiddling around some more, and I guess the guy that she's with is just like, "Huh, that's a catchy tune you got there, lad." And he's like, "Wait a minute, only vampires can play that song or something," because that's how it feels.
Sir, ladies and gentlemen, the Charlie Daniels Band. Devil went down to Beachfront for some blood steel.
Yeah, I was thinking that it was because, like, hey, this guy's really good. He must be a vampire if he's that good.
Oh, if it was a woman, it'd be a witch.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly it.
At the same time, you know, his buddy, balding Dracula, is just, like, right behind him with, like, his arm around his throat, just... and he's just over with.
It's like, yeah, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Like, the lady winds up dying, too, at the hands of Lestat, and she just dies so easily. Like, just out of nowhere, right? She's running away, of course, she's scared, and Lestat's like, no, come back, and, like, catches up to her, and just barely even nudges her, and her neck is just snapped in two.
That's all it takes. You got all that vampire energy. That's like strength.
I didn't expect a person to be a Kit Kat. Just break one off.
So the next thing that we get after this is Jessie, the girl, the heroine of this, or if you want to, I don't know what she is. She's the human in this. She decides to go against her boss's wishes, who was like, hey, you can't go back down there. And she's like, I'm going back down there, so I got to dress up all vampy and sexy and go to this vampire speakeasy.
That's a good way to put it. I like that, yeah.
It's such a weird fucking bar. There's like a vampire, Lady Austin Powers.
Yes. And she winds up like, you know, meandering to like the actual bar of the joint, and you get like old vampire, lady vampire, Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins, you know, the whole gang's there.
Yeah, this is basically the Bronze, if you've ever watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's basically that, except it's like, you know, 99% vampire instead of just like 40 or 50% like it usually is.
There's even business vampire, Deadpool vampire.
Business vampire.
And then you got fucking Lestat creeper fading in the background.
Yeah, he's just sitting back there just like creeping. watching.
You get that vibe from just about everybody in the room because, like, when she finally goes to the bar and they kind of clearly see that she hasn't been there before, like, the whole situation just becomes, for lack of a better term, rapey.
A little bit. Yeah, like, they start asking her, like, hey, who are you? Do you have a host? Oh, yeah? What's his name? And she says, Marius. And everyone around is just like, fucking doubt that.
X to doubt.
Yeah, I actually wrote down press X to doubt. They all pressed X.
So what does she do? Exit, stay left.
Oh, Snagglepuss.
She fucking just skedaddles, and she's followed out by, you know, the Union Jack, Billy Corgan, and some other fucking forgettable vampire. And they're like, we're gonna drink your blood, and they start coming in on some of the worst wire work I've ever seen.
Oh my goodness. This entire movie probably had a wire work budget of probably $12, and you see every dollar.
I compare this a lot to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, both vampire movies taking place, you know, sort of in the real modern world that came out at about the same time. I gotta be honest, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is just like better across the board, especially when it comes to effects. If you remember Buffy's effects being good, they're not good, but they're a hell of a lot better than the effects in this.
I don't know. It had to have been like a choice made on set or something. You know, it's like, you know, we'll do the wire work slow so we don't hurt anybody and we'll just speed it up in post. And they tried it and it fucking looked god awful. So instead of trying to make it work, they put some like weird slow-mo, fast-mo, like...
It's like they're buffer.
Yeah, it's like some weird blur or something like that. But it makes it look extra cheap, like it doesn't do any justice to the effect.
Lestat comes out of nowhere. Judy chops a few guys. They run away. He starts sexually, like, sucking on his thumb all weird after he gets some of her blood on it. And she's like, I read your diary. It touched me.
It touched me.
Oh my goodness. That line, that delivery. Oh, it just hurt me. Because it was so, like, is there anything less than flat? Like, I don't know. It was just like, it touched me.
So flat that it's inverted?
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But they're both like...
concave.
What'd you say?
It's concave.
Yeah. But they're both just like looking at each other all kind of blood horny or maybe just regular horny. I don't really know what it is, but like the interaction between these two, I feel like is super unnatural.
Yeah, it's not even supernatural or anything because I don't know if it's the bit next or like later on. She like cuts her titty and she's like, hey, give me a zuckle. And he's just like, well, let me show you how vampires really are. I don't know, like, kill some random lady and like, is this what you want me to kill? Do you want to die? And she's kind of like, yeah, into that, please, you know?
Yeah, but in between all this, she calls her boss and is like, yeah, I talked to Lestat. I don't care what you said. I'm going to the concert, Dad.
Dude, 100%. She's like, David, I'm breaking up with you and following Lestat on tour.
He said I can be a groupie.
We're going to go to Hollywood and coffin and chill.
He just wanted to go out for a bite.
Oh, Lord. Now we're in Hollywood, and like anyone really gives a shit. Guess who's there? It's me, Marius. Or is it Dave Matthews?
I did it. You think I've gone too far?
But now fucking Marius and goddamn Lestat are sitting on some fucking awning or some shit, and they're like, look, I'm famous. He's like, people are going to eat you, Lestat. And he's like, I want them to eat me. And man, what?
I think they're just sitting up on like a billboard atop the Sunset Strip because I guess that's where they can blend in.
Well, I mean, at that point, he doesn't want to blend in. He just wanted to be like, look at this giant billboard with my face on it. I'm so famous and sexy. And I'm just going to sit here and show you how famous and sexy I am because millions of people want my fame and sexiness.
His whole gimmick is I am a vampire. A real one. I can prove it. The fucking dude can fly. Why doesn't he just like show up and go, hey, look, whoosh.
Because he was emotionally moved by the new metal that he heard from his resting place. That's the only reason.
Vampirism tried to kill the metal. It was swept aside.
Right.
But yeah, we get a little bit more of the script there in that little conversation. Your music has awoken a very old friend. I don't really care. All right, fly away.
Then we hard cut back to the bar that we went to earlier, and then Alea is just like waltzing around, just like, "Hey, anybody want to buy me a drink?"
Anybody need a light?
She's like, check out how hot I am. And then she's like, not now, crones. Back off, you see. Burning them up.
Yeah. The one thing I will say about this scene right here, we've got like actually a pretty decent Jonathan Davis solo song. It's got like a trip hop vibe to it, but then it comes in with like the corn type vocals. It's a little bit offsetting, but like I think this is one of the best songs in the whole movie.
Well, I'm glad the music's real good because the effects are god fucking awful. Like, I know like vampires have like wacky magical powers and all that stuff, and this can be entertaining, but like I feel they didn't know what to do with how awful the effects actually were, because like when somebody burns up, it's not like in Blade where they just like dissolve or whatever. It's kind of cool, you know, they turn into a skeleton before they go away. They're like, this shit's awful. How do we get rid of it? It floats away.
It looks like someone got killed on Final Fantasy VII. Like fucking Akasha is like burning them up, and they're like fade away.
Casting that Firaga.
There we go. But like she's burning them all up, and look, I ain't gonna take nothing away from her. The way she is moving in this scene, she looks amazing. I like her outfit. I like the way she looks, and she's melting some motherfuckers. And then she even has the swagger, I suppose, to sashay Shantae out the goddamn burning room.
She's super comfortable in that fucking Princess Leia outfit that she had on.
Yeah, like I feel like I didn't really see her feet, wasn't really paying attention to the feet, but I feel like she's just like on a dolly or something, just like floating through the whole area as she's like catching everyone and everything on fire.
Said feet. Now Quentin wants to know your location.
I'm right over here, QT. Come and get it.
Did you guys think that vampires just equal meth heads at this point? They're just like goth junkies.
Well, if
like
we're in
it.
Hollywood, that's exactly what it is.
Oh,
Okay.
those Hollywood vampires.
The Hollywood vampires, Johnny Depp.
Marilyn Manson and Charlie Sheen.
Is Charlie Sheen one
Oh,
of those
yeah.
two? Ooh,
I hope so.
he's got tiger blood.
I hope so.
Did you guys notice in every music video where Lestat's dancing around or whatever, it just looks like a cheap rip of Scott Weiland?
No, but I can see that. But I do see like every time he's actually trying to like show that he's singing, it just looks
it's not
so
good.
bad because he does not look like the kind of person that Jonathan Davis's voice would come out of.
Okay, now that's one of my biggest problems with this film is Jonathan Davis. Like when he's yelling these vocals, you can really tell that there's like emotion behind them. There's no way to get that kind of noise out of your body with a flat face. You cannot do it.
Yeah.
But every time Lestat's character is singing, it is like the flattest, zero emotion face and a full volume guttural scream.
It looks like somebody just like passed him the mic while they were playing Guitar Hero, and he was like, "I don't know what to do with this, but just do it. It'll be all right."
It's like a really big karaoke night by the end
Yeah.
of it. It's super weird.
Yeah, the next thing up, we're actually treated to a very nice little cameo from Jonathan Davis himself, trying to, I guess, scalp tickets out in front of the club in LA. And what's her name girl shows up dressed like, of course, a cute little goth girl from the fucking early 2000s.
Dude, she gets out of a fucking yellow cab, and I lost my shit. I was like, she just rolled up this concert in a fucking cab. Death cab for Chubby.
Oh,
Nice. Is this like this little bit like where they're trying to like just like acquire a couple women for Lestat or whatever, just like before the show?
yeah. The manager grabs a couple of girls. She's one of them, and they go back to his house in Hollywood, and he's just like, I only need one of you. I'll take you. And the manager's like, sorry, hun. Let's go.
Yeah, I actually felt kind of bad for her because like she probably put a ton of time putting that much white foundation on her face. It was fucking ridiculous.
Oh Lord.
The exchange between these two afterwards is fucking deplorable, so I'll skip it. and get right to the Willy Wonka scene. She's like, "Oh, Lestat, I love you." Some stupid shit, and he's like, "Close your eyes, count to 3, come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure new metal goodness."
Yeah,
And they fly off.
basically.
Yeah, and I don't remember what's going on in this scene really. There's like a safety pin that she like draws across her skin to get him like a little bit tempted into turning her, because that's what she wants. She wants him to, I guess, turn her, right? That's what the
Yeah.
goal is? Yeah.
He almost dropped this bitch.
Yeah, no kidding. But, like, that was her ticket, right? Just to get him blood horny, just, just nick the old titty, see what happens.
But he's basically just like, you're sexy because you're human. Your mortality makes me horny. If you were one of us, I wouldn't care about you anymore.
And
No.
everybody watching the movie's just like, boo.
What I took away from this was Lestat's over there trying to explain to her, "Hey man, I want to die." And she's like, "Suck my titty." And Lestat is just always being sexually assaulted by women.
You're not wrong.
So is that why he slept away for like 200 years? He just like hates women?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
with that-
tired of it. Well, he fucking suckolds her ass. Did you see that?
I mean,
He
with
like
that
makes her stand
outfit,
in the background while he sucks some other person.
with that outfit that he wears all the time, like, I mean, he's kind of asking for it, isn't he?
Oh.
He's doing that walking against the wind shit.
Anyway, so now I think is where we get to the actual concert in Death Valley that they've been hyping up this whole time. And I actually
Yeah.
just went to Death Valley not too long ago. I have no idea where this concert is actually at, but it is gigantic. It is like Burning Man level of concert. It's huge. It's like a Bonnaroo.
Yeah. Fucking, and guess what? Disturbed's playing. David and
Wow.
Mario are there. Fucking, there's vampires in the crowd. D&D
Oh, man,
ARPers arrived to assist.
Like, the vampires in the crowd were fucking hilarious because everybody's moshing, having a fucking great time. And these people that are like a foot taller than everybody else in dark robes showing up like Sith Lords to this show, they're just like, paid no attention.
To be fair, they kind of blend in.
We
But-
are not the vampires you seek.
But Lestat, like, I noticed right here, Lestat, like, peeks around the side of the stage, looking at the crowd. And when he does that, he looks just fucking like Keira Knightley.
Oh,
Yeah, like, straight up.
Oh, no.
But yeah, the vampires, like all the Sith Lords or whatever they are, the Dementors, they're all like, "Fine,
Defense
Jesse."
Lords, yeah.
Yeah, that was the worst part of prison, was the Dementors.
When I was watching, I was like, yeah, they're definitely Death Eaters or something because this is fucking ridiculous.
Death Eaters, that's what I was trying to think of, yeah.
this is also one of the funniest scenes because they start fighting and it looks like something straight out of Dune 1984.
Oh, I don't know, man. This was rough. Like, we spoke about, like, those awful, like, faded effects, like when Lestat was, like, bumping around and stuff. Like, imagine 8 people just flying around a stage like that. Like a big fucking hazy mess.
Ooh, you say hazy? Speaking of haze, what I've got here from Abita Brewing Company, we've got a beer that I've had before, but it has been a very long time. This used to be one of my kind of go-tos in the early days of the craft beer resurgence. This is Purple Haze. It's a raspberry lager out of Abita Springs, Louisiana. This is a 4.2% raspberry lager. But this is definitely a hazy looking beer. Not really purple. It's got more of like a ruby red grapefruit juice look to it. Aroma smells more or less like a regular lager. I don't get a whole lot of fruit, raspberry, anything like that. Smells like a lager, maybe slightly sweeter than a regular like Miller Lite or something like that. But the more I smell it, the more like copper I'm getting. It smells like metal or something.
Like you can just smell the fucking container it was brewed in.
I don't know what.
You-
A lot of the time, you'll get like metal notes from. I don't know if it's the barley or the hops or a combination, especially in lagers. That kind of copper flavor.
So it's like a
Would
new
you
metal
call this-
smell.
Fuck,
is like
that was my joke.
Oh,
But honestly, you don't get a whole lot of raspberry flavor at all. This isn't like a super sweet flavored beer. It's very much like a traditional lager. It's got decent, solid flavor to it, just as a lager. But there is just a hint of that sort of metallic, almost blood taste in the background. I'm not just saying that because it fits with the movie. It legitimately has a little bit of that metallic irony flavor in there. It's not bad. It's not great or anything, but like it's super drinkable.
So Lestat would be way more into that beer than a blowjob.
I would guess so, but I mean that'd be a question for him, I'd expect. Can we get him on the phone?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me dial him up.
All right, get him on Skype.
See, what's his number? 3? All right.
Yeah, he's been around a while, so.
It is 1-800
Yeah, for sure.
666.
I fucking hate that still.
Anyway, so we're at this concert, and needless to say, all of the Hot Topics in the area are completely sold out of everything.
Dude,
Seems like it.
I just want to say that whenever the fucking good guy vampires or whatever show up, the one that looks like Riff Raff, he has this moment for whatever reason. He looks over at Cake Face and she looks back at him, and there's literally like a zoinks moment.
Yeah, like when they're coming in, I honestly didn't know if these were like good vampires or bad vampires or who these guys were. I knew they were vampires, but like who are they coming in here trying to fight?
Well, I guess each other. It turns into like a fucking ballroom blitz at this point.
Blitz.
Nice.
And it's embarrassing.
It
Like
is,
they're just
yeah.
like floating around, fading. One dude like gets like kind of a jump on Lestat, but he like turns around with a mic stand and impales him immediately. I mean, it's just so. It's tough for me to describe without like saying like, oh, just watch it. It's just so slow and just awkward, and you're just like, man, people paid money to see this.
It's a
Dude.
very sloppy tussle, and it's done with very bad effects.
Yes.
Yes, I like that. It's like some supernatural kerfuffle or something.
Holy shit. It's like a bunch of fucking like fighting people with super strength. That's what it is.
Oh, imagine like the supermodel boys from Zoolander got together and had like an actual fight.
That's exactly what it is. What really blows my mind though is all these people are literally flying around, and then Akasha explodes from underneath the stage
Literally.
like a fucking graboid.
Yeah, where the fuck
Yeah.
was she this whole time?
She came from England. Don't worry. She took the Concorde. She got
Good God, it's Kane! You know?
Yeah, and she pretty much takes care of like everybody else. And then she and Lestat just kind of fly off together. And at this point, I can't tell if they're like fighting or fucking or like blood fucking. I don't know.
blood fucking. I'm glad that we can all agree that they leave the scene the exact same way all of their awful effects do. They just float away just because. They need to be somewhere else. How do we get there? They just do.
They finally achieve a blood nut.
Blood nut.
Finally.
It's all coming back around.
I want
Yeah,
to
but-
discuss one of the absolute worst lines in this movie. You're bold, like your music.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, he sure is.
And your hair is crunchy, like those rips.
I like how you didn't even have to finish that.
Oh shit. Oh, but she's fucking hot, man. She's hot. Like
I guess.
she's Selma Hayek, Dust Till Dawn hot.
I'm not gonna agree with you there. No, like she's hot. She's totally fine. She's not Selma Hayek and from Dust Till Dawn hot. Nope, not for me.
Well, either way, she's totally into Lestat, and she's like, "Hey, have a zuckle me, baby," and like, I guess he does, and it turns him like into a daywalker, like he's Blade or some shit.
Yeah, I don't fucking know, but we find out like she has chosen him for like to be his consort now. Like the old Stone King, he is no more. It's all about you. That's where I kept you safe.
It's so just fucking bad, like how
Yeah.
this happens, like everything. Cause like he walks outside, it's sunlight. And he's like, "Oh, this is fucking weird," and she follows right behind him. And is like, "Look, everything, everything the light touches is ours," like the Lion King. And he takes like one look around over his shoulders, like, "This fucking sucks."
Yeah,
He's
fuck the
like-
sun.
He went from vampire to glampire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got it wrong earlier when I said that Trip Hop Jonathan Davis song was the best song in here. The best song in this movie, for sure, is right here during this scene where we get the sexy little, like, rose petal bath. It's Change in the House of Flies by Deftones. honestly, I absolutely love this song. Y'all might disagree. That's the best song in this movie.
Yeah, Deftones Spa Day is just a fun scene that turns into like the DX intro video sex scene.
Oh.
It's pretty rough. Like this entire like little bit of the movie just after the concert is so just like shoehorned in there just so the rest of the movie could take place in like the little crypt area and they can all just be like, I don't know, like a shitty version of The Craft.
Man.
Well, first, can we talk about how, like, while they're in this bathtub or whatever, she bites him a little bit, just enough to draw a little bit of blood, just playing around, and sucks a little bit of that blood, and then she fucking snowballs it back into his mouth.
Yo.
I don't know if that's gay or not, but that might be a little gay.
What happens at Deftones Spa Day stays at Deftones Spa Day. So, up to this point, this movie has been vague. It has been aloof. It's been semi-comedic and moderately sexy. The next 15 minutes of this film, they were like, what are we going to do? And they're like, I don't fucking know, man, but wrap it up.
You're not wrong. I guess all the elder vampires kind of get together and they're just like, the fuck you doing, Queen of the Damned, Aaliyah? And she's like, hey, we're going to take this bitch over again. It's going to be like the old times. Hell yeah. And you're like, nah, the 50s happened. You remember Elvis? Yeah, Elvis. All right, cool. Get fucked.
Yeah, I don't think we even really mentioned very, very early in the film. There's like one little snippet of a scene with Jessie and her aunt. It doesn't really matter that much, but you kind of get the idea that her aunt knows that Jessie has some kind of like inclination toward the vampire race or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter then. She comes back now.
She's just here.
It's supposed to be a big payoff that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's the whole movie in a nutshell because it tries to have a climax and you're like, I guess supposed to feel bad or something. Feel something. It just kind of just does. There's no resolution. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, there's kind of a resolution. So we'll breeze through it. Akasha kicks down the doors and fucking mist comes rolling in like John Cena. And she's like pimps up, hose down, force chokes one bitch across the room, says, hey, Lestat, go titty bite that bitch because she's your ex and I don't like her. And this is supposed to be a sexy scene or something, and it's fucking weird because she's cradling him like she's breastfeeding a baby.
Yes, that's very true. Like he takes him in and he's just like goo goo gaga baby sass, and like he's like, what is this supposed to mean? What am I supposed to feel right now?
It makes no fucking sense. And then all the other vampires are like, Lestat, let's all team up. And he's like, cool. And they all start biting her. And apparently side effects of biting Akasha are xenomorph blood and you burn alive.
Is that what it was? I thought it was because, she was still like, I'll say at 3/4 strength after Lestat took the first bite. So they all go in and try to kill her. Mm-hmm. And she like brushes a couple of them off like they're mosquitoes. And like, as she's dying, she's like, hi-ya, you're dead. And then like, when she's finally too weak, the one that looked like a really young Lars Ulrich, he's like, wait a minute, I'm not dead yet. And then like everybody's like, oh yeah, she's dying. Let's just go ahead and finish it off.
Yeah, Akasha, good to the last drop.
Yeah, but she says something like, if you kill me, you kill yourself. So I guess because she is like the original vampire, she sired everyone down the range.
Sure. And I guess you're supposed to have the notion like, oh, if she dies, like all vampires just like disintegrate. That kind of thing. Like, it's no longer going to be a thing. And then the movie's just like, no?
Yeah.
Now, what really happens is, see, if you drink all the blood, you turn into a white chocolate statue, and she turns into one of those giant snake fireworks from Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt!
Dude, her death is so bad. It's just like...
Fuck, dude. Fuck, dude. It's bad. Like, this entire scene made no sense. So, we mentioned before, like, all these vampires start biting on her, sucking her blood, and I guess her fucking tank finally ran dry. And she like chars up, like she's been burned, like she turns completely black, even her clothes for whatever reason.
Her
And she
clothes,
has
her
the-
like crown, her teeth turn black.
Yeah, and it's like cool imagery. I get why they did it, but like it turns into this weird Matrix camera moment as she dissolves into nothing, and it's so drawn out. I'm just like, goodness, just fucking die already. Don't fucking
Yeah.
dare.
100%.
She dissolves like the sandstorm from The Mummy.
That too,
I
yeah.
guess so. Fuck,
But-
man, it just took forever. And then like it hard cuts to that one lady who took the last drop, and she's just like a wooden figure. And it doesn't even fucking look like her.
Yeah, Jesse's auntie is who ends up sucking the last drop out of Akasha, and that causes her to turn into a statue too. But everybody else is okay? All right.
Technically better, right? Because like once you get a drop of her blood, you're just daywalker, so you're no longer constricted to being at night, right? That's like movie logic. I'm
I
sure that's what
guess.
they meant. I don't know.
Sure.
Like, I'm shrugging my shoulders. Sure, yeah.
We did it, boys. We cracked the code.
The weirdest thing is, like, okay, they happy ending time. They go out, they go to see David for whatever reason. She's like, David, I broke up with you. I'm gonna make you cuck over my new Dracula boyfriend. He's like, is it fun? And she's like, he, wanna find out? And he's like, kind of. And she's like, well, I'm leaving. And he hooks up with Marius after this embarrassing breakup. It's a quick rebound suck, and it's wrong.
I didn't know if that was like them hooking up or if that was like, is he just like creeping around? Is this like sequel bait or something?
I guess so. I don't know. I just thought balding vampire showed up just kind of tie up loose ends just to kill him for whatever reason, because he's been the guy that's kind of been researching everybody, kind of creeping around in the shadows anyways. I don't know. You know what? I don't fucking know. Why am I trying to inject logic into this? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah,
Who
I
the
don't
fuck
know.
Just there.
If that was sequel bait, who the fuck wants to see Marius and David? You know, like, no.
I don't know. Like, I can't explain it. Movie goes in,
It's
movie
just
goes
like-
out.
They're just like a supernatural odd couple. That's all it is. It's just
It's
fucking
them.
Mario and David.
It's like fucking Mad About You, but with Marius and David.
Just Marius and fuck, what's his name?
Paul
Oh,
Reiser.
it's not him. Yeah, it's just it's just Mario and Paul Reiser.
Yes.
Oh, situational comedy. Rest in peace, Aaliyah.
So let me tell you guys. First, let me say, this fucking movie. All right. Overall, it's not good. The soundtrack is pretty banging if you were a teenager in 2002. But among things that I would rather watch again would be the entire series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And honestly, all the Twilight movies are better than this. This is not a good movie in any capacity. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that.
I am 100% on the same boat. This movie is fucking aimless, shameless, and fucking not blameless. Like, this whole fucking thing is like, it's not even a fever dream. It's just awful. Like, there's no direction to anything. And I feel bad. Like, this is what Aaliyah's like remembered for like, you know, a lot of people. And like, for this being her like final whatever in the entertainment world, good God. I'm sorry. This is fucking trash. Like, I had some laughs, but man, those laughs are surrounded by trash.
This is a guilty pleasure movie for me, and if I said I didn't like it, I'd be lying to you. I've seen this movie like fucking 6 or 7 times. Each time, I love the soundtrack. I laugh my ass off, and seeing that bar scene, I'm like, all right, we're doing okay. Do I think it's good? I mean, not really, but it's fun. I had a blast making fun of this film. Like, if you got some buddies and you want to have them come over, and instead of just playing music in the background, you need music and something to make fun of, this is your fucking movie.
All right, I can get down with that.
Well, there you have it. That's Queen of the Damned. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave it in the comment section below.
Hit all those different buttons for us. Hit the like button, the subscribe button. Bash that little bell icon too, so you know next time we got another one of these brewing.
Get out there and follow us on social media. We're fucking everywhere, y'all. We got the Twitter, the Reddit, the Instagram, the Facebook. We got like Apple Podcasts. We got Spotify. We're on YouTube. there's no reason you can't find us. If you guys don't find us, we'll have Marius find you, and he'll like Dave Matthews you into some kind of vampire.